The following is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
ABC Sports presents live in its 30th anniversary season the Professional Bowlers Tour. Today from El Paso, it's the El Paso Open. In our first game, Kelly Coffman of Topeka, Kansas, will take on two-time champion Ron Williams of Fort Worth. That winner will meet Rookie of the Year contender Derrick Williams. Next up is the defending champion Ray Edwards. And our tournament leader, Parker Bohn III, is a five-time champion. That's our outstanding field of finalists for this afternoon's Professional Bowlers Tour telecast. This week, the professional bowlers have come to a most unique area. It's located in the corners of New Mexico, Texas, and the country of Mexico. You're looking at Mexico right now, and the city of Juarez. Hello again, I'm Chris Schenkel in Mexico, standing on one of the four bridges that span the Rio Grande River. With a population of 1.5 million here and 650,000 over there, it's the largest population at any international crossing in the entire world. Let's cross the line and get to the U.S. of A. I'm headed for El Paso, a city with a wonderful history. These two cities are culturally and economically linked. Our finals are at Bowl El Paso, and my colleague Nelson Burton Jr. is there, so let's join him right now. Bo?
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Bowl El Paso, set up for tournament play. 40 synthetic lanes, a large concourse area to accommodate the overflow crowds. We had an outstanding field of 24 finalists this week. There were 12 left-handers and 12 right-handers in the 24-man finals. Now, 2 of the lefties have made the top 5. Obviously, the other 3 are right-handers. Outstanding field. The Sawmaster in Game 1, Kelly Coffman, arguably throws the strongest strike ball in the game of bowling. Sometimes he doesn't know where it's going, but he's interesting. He's bowling against the Miller Barber of professional bowling, Ron Williams. Derrick Williams is in number 3 position. The defending champion, Ray Edwards, is in the number 2 position. Only one man has defended his title this year. That was Ballard at the Toyota Classic. And our tournament leader is used to winning from number 1. Parker Bohn III has won all 5 of his titles from the number 1 position. Now let's look at how the players are playing this high-scoring lane condition. The oil is 40 feet down the lane this week. A very simple lane condition, and for what it's worth, if you get it a little bit wide, the ball does not come back. However, the players, Chris, must keep the ball between the second and third arrows for the right-handers and the left-handers, and there's a lot of money at stake.
Yes, $130,000 total, with 20 going to the champion, 10-5 runner-up, $755 in the loser of our very first match, which is about to begin, $4,500. Kelly Coffman, larger of the two, 6'2", 240 pounds, will bowl first. There he is, from Topeka, Kansas, 26-year-old, going against Ron Williams of Fort Worth. A 10-pin.
Kelly Coffman with the power ball, solid 10. I'd say, Chris, there's only 2 chinks in his armor of becoming one of the best players out here. Number 1, a little bit of experience, and he needs that by staying out here to learn to throw the ball straighter at times, and his spear making is suspect.
It's his first telecast of this year, 4th of his career. 2 last year when he was 2nd at the True Value and 4th in the Florida Open. Now, a 2-time PBA national champion, 30-year-old Ron Williams of Fort Worth. Best finish this year, 8th in the Active West and at Fresno.
Come on, baby.
And he is mic'd, and come on, baby, worked with the stroke. Bo?
You're right, Chris, and I said the Miller Barber of professional bowling, and i.e. his arm swing. Watch how he pushes it away, and then he takes it outside with that bent elbow position. Now, the key is right here. He's in an awkward position, but he realigns it coming on through the downswing, gets that ball right next to the left leg, a nice loft over the foul line, and see how his hand stayed underneath the bowling ball. It's the finish in that last half a step that counts. He starts with a strike. Carry.
That it did. 1 word, 1-liners for Ron Williams. First title, Bud Classic in Columbus, Ohio in '88. And looking for that first one, edging up on it, Topeka Bowler of the Year in '88 and '89. So For Kelly, that's his first strike.
The big guy with the powerful ball. Look at how steady his head is. Those eyes, the key right there, and looking forward. Look at this position here. He's kind of open with his right foot, and he drops down inside out, and you see that wrist roll underneath the ball. Look at no hand turn around the ball. He can really do it.
And a 4-pin. And Bo, you know about 4-pins. We're so proud of you in your first seniors event. You finished 5th out of having defeated Bowl better than 419 seniors. Boy, we're proud of you, but that darn 4-pin.
Thank you, Chris. It was my undoing, but a great tournament in Las Vegas.
That it was. And that week, I think you earned more than you did the year you won here in El Paso in 1970.
$3,000 was first place in the pro tournament here in 1970 when I won. $4,000 I received Thursday night for a 5th place finish on the seniors. Now here's Ron Williams, perfect through 2. Hold it.
Speak of the 4, we're...
Well, Chris, I think we all know that a player has a tendency to pull the ball when he's under a pressure. 75% of the bad shots, if you ask any pro or even top amateurs, are left of target. Ron got a little soft with that shot, went high, and has an easy spare.
All right. And here's Bonnie, mother of Scott and Sean. Now Kelly Coffman tells us the key to following or enrolling. Ron Williams has this little sound bite to give us that we recorded earlier. Talks about changes that he made in... all but the 7-pin. As he rubs his face, I don't blame him. Broke up a split, however, Bob.
You're right, Chris. And the key here on synthetic lanes, these are synthetic lanes, no wood underneath these lanes, is accuracy and speed control. If Ron threw us a little too soft, he goes high. A little too hard, he finished light on that shot.
Okay, we're in our very first game. An 8-pin lead by Ron Williams, at whom you're looking. We'll be back.
I have my coffee, it's all gone.
Whether you admit it or not, it's a problem.
Okay, I have morning breath, but it doesn't bother anyone.
Don't be so sure.
Mine's not so bad.
Morning breath's not as bad as you think. It's worse. So get Scope. Its 2 powerful ingredients kill 90% of the bacteria that cause morning breath.
Was my morning breath really that bad?
There's no denying morning breath, so save your breath with Scope.
It's time to save big on Goodyear all-season radials for cars and light trucks. Buy 3, get the 4th free. Hurry, save big, and see why we say the best tires in the world and in your neighborhood have Goodyear written all over them.
This is the time to use Ace Paint. Hey, Ace knows what it takes to make great paint because Ace makes its own. Ace Paint, top quality in every drop, guaranteed.
Ace 5-star acrylic latex house paint is just $8.97 a gallon.
Another reason Ace is the place for you.
All right, we're back again at Bowl El Paso. It's a beautiful bowling establishment, one of the finest in the nation. Is Kelly Coffman, trailing by 8 with a spare working, shoots on the right lane.
A little bit hard. Speed control, the key part of this bowling center today. Any balls thrown wide of the second arrow close to the first arrow will slide by the head pin. However, Kelly topped that ball, didn't get the good wrist action, breaks down the 2-4-5, left with the 2-4. Kelly with a lot of speed, 19 to 20 miles an hour on his first ball, also uses the full approach to accommodate that big hook. He gets about 18 revolutions on the ball, so he has it all going. It's a matter of Kelly getting it in the pocket.
Put some fingers in it. Throwing it like a bow.
Well, even though I don't know if he has a microphone on, but you could sure hear him say that he's not throwing it as well as he wants to. For Kaufman, once again, Chris, if he gets that strike ball going, he's almost unbeatable. However, spares have been his downfall. Let's see if he can convert the 2-4-5 here.
Just about to point out that he wastes so little time in moving to the line, Bo, and sometimes that's costly.
Kelly needs a little experience. He has a lot of natural ability, and you see him just chop the 2-4 off the 5, opens the door for Ron Williams, who now has a 24-pin lead through 5 frames.
And now a little of the same for Ron Williams, a Fort Worth, the 2-4-5 on the right lane.
See if he takes a little different angle of attack to this spare. Now, we saw Kelly Coffman go down the center, gamble on the hook ball into the 2-5 zone. Let's see if Williams uses a little different shot and tries to cut down the percentages of chop.
Thank you.
Few anxious moments as he says thank you. Ron Williams tells the changes he's made here in 1992 because it's become his most consistent year.
Well, Bo, I basically have been working a lot of different hand positions, and when the lanes are slick, I've tried to stay underneath the ball and try and get more roll on it. And when the lanes are starting to hook, I'll turn my hand toward the side of the ball to spin it through the heads to make it go longer down the lane.
And right now, Chris, he's not following his own advice. He's spinning one ball, which makes it go down the lane longer, like he left the 2-4-5, and that time he kept under the ball a little bit more. So you have to be consistent in that hand position. However, he's gotten himself in a pretty good position. You know, even though he's not throwing a lot of strikes, he's still leading by 20 pins.
He was one of 4 to bowl perfect 300 games this week. It does feel good to sit down, Bo.
Don't realize the pressure on these players until you sit in that seat.
Looks good, Gary. Ah, yes, after an open frame, bouncing back. Kelly Coffman, he tells us the key to rolling 4 consecutive 300 games in 4 cities on the tour.
Well, I started out in Seattle, bowled one there, and then I bowled one in Portland, Riverside, and then last week in Fresno. And it's a combination of bowling well, and a little bit of luck involved, and you know, you've got to have both of those really for the PBA conditions out here, because they're a lot different than league conditions, and all that helps out. And it would be nice to shoot a 5th one here in El Paso this week.
Along with you, he saw a break as the 10-pin went out, leaving only the 7. So cross lane now, Kelly Coffman. We're at Bowl El Paso in the city by the same name. We'll return in a moment as you get an idea of some of the flavor here in this city, surrounded by small hills, mountains, all kinds of culture. Just a great place to visit.
Recess. Teacher outside, children outside.
Lewis Carrier air-conditioned the first schoolhouse in 1926.
Simon says, come on, come out.
Ever since Carrier invented air conditioning,
Come out just for a minute.
we've been making it better inside.
You don't come out. You are going to stay after school, huh?
From the first schoolhouse to your house, Carrier makes it better inside. We're the inside guys. Call us.
Recess is a state law.
Perspiration's okay when you're playing tennis, but not when you're close.
If a guy smells, it's such a turn-off.
Get a little closer with Arid, the anti-odor antiperspirant that helps keep you extra, extra dry.
Yeah, I trust Arid.
Dear Thompson's, when the store ran out of Thompson's water seal, we finished our deck with another brand. What a mistake. The Thompson side beat it up, the other side, nothing. Even the clerk agreed. Nothing works like Thompson's. Sincerely, Becky Jones, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Looking for a title shot, hard-hitting heavyweight contender Tommy the Duke Morrison meets Joe Hip live. Next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
All right, there they are. Wonderful murals here on both ends of Bowl El Paso as we look now at Ron Williams, who's leading by 20, 7th frame.
Oh, no. Oh.
both professionals, mic'd, and you get their reactions, which often great captions for the pictures. Let's see if he says anything after trying to cover this pin. Very businesslike. Ron Williams, as we go to another businesslike man, Nelson Burton.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Derrick Williams. The two righties are high on one lane, light on the other. How about the left side? Is there a big difference in the lanes?
Well, Bo, it looks like from practice, everything seemed to be pretty close to being even on both sides. Left lane may have been just a hair tighter for me, but they're playing pretty close to the same for me.
All right, he looks like he can go at him, Chris. We'll know in a minute.
All right, that was Derrick Williams, Beaumont area. No relation to this man, Ron Williams. But they're Texans. And that's where we are. The very corner of the Lone Star State. And it's hot, 102. All right, continuing to mark is Ron Williams as Kelly Coffman is back up. Kelly's first television appearance was in 1990. Finished second in Milwaukee. It was there that he beat Marshall Holman and then lost to Parker Bohn, who is our tournament leader here in this event. Ooh, well done. Next Saturday on ABC Sports right here, Bowling's Hot Shots will duel in the desert sun again. The summer tour continues to stay hot for the $125,000 Tucson PBA Open. That's next Saturday. Golden Pin Lanes, Pete Tontis and all.
Norm Duke, the defending champion, just Stayrook made the 7-10 split there last year on TV. Now, Kelly Coffman to close the ground.
All right, 8 pins separating these two professionals. Trailing Bate is the man at whom you're looking. Watch this reaction.
Watch this wrist action, too.
Spare up. There's a ninth frame strike, Nelson.
Ron Williams, known for his great clutch bowling, Chris, has had a lot of misfortunes on TV. He averaged 249, shooting scores of 257 and 251 and 239 while losing matches on TV. As you see his position on the line, he's going to start here. He'll drift to the left and then be right over the second arrow. This is a big shot, 10th frame.
Carry it.
Sets up the possibility of Kelly Coffman throwing strikes to win or even a tie match. As you see him drifting to the left, a good loft over the foul line. Doesn't get the love tap on the 10. The best he can bowl is 202. Kaufman a potential 214.
Stuck a little bit at the line, but nevertheless continuing to mark here in our first game in this close match. The winner will have a great opponent in Derrick Williams, and that'll be our next game.
See that face. Remember Jim Hart, St. Louis Cardinals, soon to be a Hall of Famer in the NFL? Kelly Coffman look-alike will need a strike, at least one, to win this match.
Four pin in El Paso. That's been part of our story today. But it's a 201 for Ron Williams.
Kelly Coffman must strike on this ball and get 8 in a spare to win. If he does not strike on this ball, he cannot advance to the next match. This is the key shot.
Only a 6-pin.
Boy, I'll bet you he wants that back, Chris. Cannot win the match. The best he can do is 193. It's going to be Ron Williams against Derrick Williams in the second match. Boy, he sure wants that back. Ron Williams got a great break to win sitting on the bench in a high-scoring environment like this, and Kelly Coffman be the first to admit that That was one of the poorest balls he's thrown, but that's how you learn out here. You learn from the bad things and improve next time.
A 190 for Kelly Coffman. We'll see him again soon. Nice win for Ron Williams. As ABC Sports presentation of the Professional Bowlers Tour, we'll return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
I'll defend my title at the U.S. Senior Open July 11th on ABC Sports.
Why get an inferior shave when you could have the best? Why choose ordinary lubrication when you could have the richest? Why settle for average protection against razor irritation when you could have the most advanced, giving you the closest shave with less irritation? Edge Gel. Ultimate closeness. Ultimate comfort. That's the Edge.
What's been the highlight of your Lake Edna stop, Matt?
I'd say this new honey barbecue chicken, Russ.
Get 2 pieces with baked beans, coleslaw, and a biscuit in a roundup meal for just $2.99. Or the 8-piece meal, just $9.99.
Oh, what? I can eat the whole damn.
Now get to KFC as quick as you can. Honey barbecue wings are back, glazed in a special sauce with a touch of honey. People are rushing to try it. KFC honey barbecue wings in Lake Edna or your neck of the woods.
Peter Jennings reporting, Who is Ross Perot? Monday at 10, 9 Central.
They ain't seen nothing yet.
Then meet Perot in a national town meeting live Monday.
Toyota trucks. Toyota Lee, awesome. That's why Toyota is the #1 selling import truck in America. Toyota Lee satisfied owners make Toyota America's #1 truck line in customer satisfaction. Toyota Tough. Don't settle for anything less than Toyota dependability. Go ahead, break out of the ordinary. See your Toyota dealer today for Toyota Value, the best deal going.
Pop quiz.
Oh, no.
Fire away. Which beer do you think is brewed longer?
This one overall has better flavor.
The darker one.
Bingo.
Coors Extra Gold is brewed far longer than Bud.
Seriously?
Than Budweiser? 70% longer than Bud.
You know what? I can taste it.
Slow brewed for that real beer flavor and color, the way beer was meant to be, which may be why 58% of Bud drinkers prefer Coors Extra Gold.
I'll make it 59 and 60.
Coors Extra Gold. If you're missing real taste, beer is back.
They're gold, baby. The name says it.
Rhonda Overby covers the Mid-State only on 27 News.
ABC Sports coverage of the Pro Bowlers Tour. Brought to you by Choice Hotels International. By Sears Auto Center. You got to ask yourself, who's going to back you better than Sears? And by Kentucky Fried Chicken. Nobody's cooking like today's KFC.
The result of our first match, a victory for Ron Williams, 201, 3 strikes. Kelly Coffman, 4 strikes and a 190. So it's a shootout now, head-to-head against the Williams boys. No relation. We have Ron on the right as you look on, and Derrick Williams of the Williams boys bowling group.
Ron Williams, a product of the junior bowling program in the St. Louis area. Grew up in Cahokia, Illinois, just across from St. Louis, and we're going to have a PBA seniors and PBA regular doubles tournament there in August. Cahokia, Illinois.
Okay, and he starts out very well. He was 5th here in El Paso in 1989. And of course, if you just joined us, we'll point out again, Ron defeated Kelly Coffman in the first match, 201 to 190. All right, here he is, 6-footer, 200-pounder, 26-year-old Derrick Williams. And one of the 2 lefties on our field of 5 today leaves the 7.
Boy, he really rolled that ball nice. Gets the ball inside, good position. He's a little dipped over the shoulders, but he's going to come straight through that shot, send it out right around the second arrow. And the ball sets up nicely, leaves the solid 7. Let's see how his spear making is when he's a little nervous in the opening frame. He looks like he's got a great shot.
Derrick Williams, younger brother of 6-time PBA champion and Firestone winner, Mark Williams. And there he is.
Mark's had a little bit of a struggle this year. I've crossed with him in a couple of tournaments, and he's just wondering about his game. He can't exactly nail down what is wrong. See how little brother's playing the lanes, staying way over here. He's going to drift towards the center. He's going to have the ball come out just between the second and third arrows.
Oh, 4-7 on the left lane.
Didn't like that shot. Avoids the 4-6-7-10. And maybe it's a head pin that comes shooting back across. Let's follow it. No, it was a 3-pin. Hit against the sideboard. Almost took out the 4 and 7s. As a spare, he has to guard against chopping the 4 off the 7. Second frame.
That's our second game. The winner will go against Ray Edwards, our number 2 seed, who is the defending champion right here at Bowl El Paso. 2-pin lead by Ron Williams. Strike up, second frame.
Carry.
Yeah. All right. Coming up next, the heavyweights return to ABC's Wide World of Sports. That's right. Tommy Morrison, who's knocked out 28 of his 33 opponents, battles Joe Hipp. And the American Championship Racing Series continues as top thoroughbreds dash for $1 million in the Hollywood Gold Cup. That's next. ABC, Wide World of Sports. Pro Bowlers Tour in El Paso. Double up, shooting in the third frame, second game.
Hold it. Nasty shot there. Ron Williams gets the ball out in what we call the dry zone around the second arrow. You see it right there, the position on the lane. Then it's very dry, that last 20 feet. Cuts right through the middle, 4, 6, 7. He'll just go for the 4-7 pin count.
So it's an open frame after a double for the winner of the first game, Ron Williams.
Here's a man with a powerful grip in his hand and his bowling ball. Just sticks his fingers in. He's got the full grip, tucks that pinky finger, rolls that wrist underneath the ball, and then right on through it.
All right. Derrick Williams, hopeful for Rookie of the Year honors. Here's how he described it.
Well, the Rookie of the Year award, Bo, is a very prestigious honor. Jason Couch has bowled real good all year, and he's made it real tough for me. Come out this summer, finish 6th in Dublin, and hopefully the show here put me a little bit ahead of him. And with a win here in El Paso, I think it put me in a pretty good lead over.
He has a good point. As Couch had a great winner, Derrick coming on this summer.
Derrick finished 4th at the Quaker State in Grand Prairie this year. So we got to have an opportunity now to meet Dad on the left, and that's Wayne, and his wife, Joanne. Derrick's wife.
Derrick Williams, who is now leading in this match by 3 pins, needs to convert to 2-4-7 to stay ahead.
These professional bowlers always get great family support. They fly in the day of. The Tiwa Indians here. One of their dances, which we witnessed last year, the drummer being Martin Silvius. There he is. He's the war captain. And his brother, Chris, is the eagle dancer. Watch.
All the rigmarole.
Face it, lots of places offer new tires.
I'm not going to hand my car over to just anyone.
But only Sears has the SuperGuard 40 all-season steel-belted radials. And now they're on sale as low as $21.88.
When I get off work, Sears is still open, and that makes sense to me.
Sears SuperGuard 40, now only $21.88.
You can count on me.
Who's going to back you better than Sears?
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Speed Stick. It's 110% protection against wetness and odor that lasts all day. Start the morning with Speed Stick, the wide stick, for powerful 24-hour protection.
No better way to face the day. No better way to face the day.
Speed Stick, 110% protection.
wrestling's best duel in the desert. The game's big guns roll into Arizona for the Tucson PBA Open on ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour next Saturday.
Now, after an open frame, winner of the first game, Ron Williams, try to bounce back. He is mic'd. He may make a comment or two. He's on the right lane.
Herring.
Okay, Nelson.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel, the man who's the defending champion here. Ray Edwards, one of your opponents, if you're going to win this tournament again, is going to be a left-hander, and a lot of righties have trouble bowling against lefties. What's your thought in the match game?
Well, really, it doesn't make any difference to me. I have to throw the ball well, and they have to throw the ball well, too, and whoever throws the ball the best is going to win.
You watch your opponent?
Yeah, I do. It really makes no difference to me.
All right, he's just playing his own game, Chris. Let's see what he does in the semifinal.
And with the double, a 7-pin lead for Ron Williams. So now it's Derrick. Tide has turned here a little bit, not by much, only 7 pins with a spare up. He's shooting in the 5th frame of our second game. Winner of 2 regional titles. And a big shot. Powerful shot, though.
You're right, Chris, and he's zeroed on the right-hand lane, lane 32 in this 40-lane establishment. However, this is the lane that's giving him trouble. Lane 31, he went high in the 2nd frame, leaving the 4-7. Once again, he went high in the 4th frame, leaving the 2-4-7. Trails by 7 pins. 6th frame coming up, and for the statistic buffs, the man trailing after 5 frames has lost 25% of the matches, as you see his grip again. So the odds are 4-1 against Derrick coming back to win this match. However, this is a big shot.
Oh. Continuing to stay loose is our tournament leader, Parker Bohn III, and Edwards, to whom Bo just spoke.
The action of the head pin goes to the sideboard. When the players bring it back and knock out the cross lane, they call it the Boy Scout. However, at that time, the scout didn't do his job.
And Joanne, not quite as tense as she was a little earlier. As the match goes on here now, it's still close, and Ron Williams continues to lead Derrick by 7 pins, a double up.
What Ron Williams has done in the last 2 shots has cut down his hook, lofted the ball over the foul line more, and gone straighter at the pocket. Nope. Yep. All right, you saw some strange pin action down there as a pin rolled around and knocked the 6 out and almost knocked the 3 over. And if this pin had fallen over after hitting the rack, it would have been reset. However, it remains standing where it stands up. It's a little bit off spot. The split is a little more difficult. He has to get the ball between the 3 and 10 pins.
Our statistician today is Del Ballard, the great champion who won in Portland a few weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago, and as you see Ron Williams, a perfect shot. If that 3-pin had been knocked over by the machine, it would have been set back up in the 3-pin spot. However, if it doesn't get knocked over, wherever the machine resets it is where it stands, and that's what happened to Williams. He converted it, and he leads by 5 after 6 frames. Oh, boy. When players are looking down at the foul line like that, especially after they bowled a game and a half, they're a little bit confused, and that is very upsetting. A player would like to be confident in his strike target, his strike angle, and his spot. Williams would lead by 3 if he converts this. Needs to do some adjustments.
Okay, we're in El Paso, and in our 30th anniversary year, 30 years ago in 1962, David Rose introduced us to the stripper.
Something big is coming to Gotham City, and it's bringing money and prizes to Choice Hotels like quality. Just enter the Choice Hotels Batman Return Sweepstakes. Pick up an entry form at any Choice Hotel, and you could win one of thousands of great Batman prizes, like a Plymouth Voyager or a Choice Batman suitcase containing $250,000 in cash.
Is this a great hotel or what?
Call 1-800-4CHOICE to reserve your room at any of the 7 brands in the Choice Hotels family.
It seemed like the rain would never stop. I mean, I could feel the dampness in my bones. For the first time since my doctor said I had a touch of arthritis.
He had some pain, so we called the doctor, and he recommended extra-strength Tylenol.
That's right.
With all the choices for your arthritis pain, well, I was surprised.
Well, the Tylenol worked. The pain cleared up.
A lot sooner than weather.
Tylenol, arthritis pain relief from the name you trust.
Looking for a title shot, hard-hitting heavyweight contender Tommy the Duke Morrison meets Joe Hip live. Next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
There's a great champion, 5 times PBA winner, Parker Bohn III. He's waiting.
Interesting thing about Parker, Chris, is he has won 5 PBA tournaments, all from the #1 position, the position that's given everybody so much trouble. Now, here's Derrick Williams coming up in the 7th frame, spare working, trailing by 3. Hey, partner, he's got that look on his face like he can do some damage.
Does. A little, got a little red face there and walked a little faster and probably looked at his brother Mark, and who's looking on, Firestone champion. There's Mark.
Derrick had a 3-pin lead in the 3rd. He gave it up when Williams doubled in the 4th and 5th. Derrick can retake the lead here in the 8th.
Little brother's doing all right, says Mark. All right. 7-pin lead by this man.
The look on his face, he came to play.
Spare up. Trailing by 7. Oh. What happened, Bo?
Ron Williams going very direct at the pocket, Chris, after being wide many times, has decided to go straight in. He didn't get it enough speed, and he got the ball high 4-7. The 2 went around the 4. What he needs to do is get the left of the 4-pin, drive it into the 9. If he doesn't convert this, he'll be trailing by more than a mark.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Well, in every sport, there has to be some luck, but let me tell you, skill has a lot to do with that shot.
Boy, not much margin of error there. You have about a 1/4 of an inch at 61 feet, and that's the distance from the foul line all the way back to the 4-pin. He converts it, keeps himself in position to stay in the match. He only trails by 9. That's the key. Less than a mark behind with 2 frames to go.
He's pumped. Next week, Tucson, then Wichita, then Edmond, Oklahoma. Professional Bowlers Tour telecasts.
Ron Williams contemplates. Derrick Williams tries to extend his lead.
We said it'd be a shootout. Williams, boys.
Well, he sure took over with that shot. That's as relaxed as I've ever seen a rookie throw the ball under the heat. He just let it go there in the 9th frame, and he can put away his opponent with a strike right here. Williams strikes and just stays behind the foul line. He will shut out Ron Williams. If not, Ron Williams can come up and still win the match. Here we go. Chris, I'm going to tell you the irony of the solid 10 here at Roy Lowndes El Paso Bowl. 1962, Roy Lowndes could have defeated Dick Weber for the U.S. Open Championship, and he left a solid 10, opened the door for Weber. Weber threw 6 in a row, won the U.S. Open in 62. Here it comes back again, another lefty in 1992, leaves a solid 10 in the clutch. Let's see if it's the undoing of Derrick Williams. Williams, possible 217, cannot shut out his opponent. this, Ron Williams contemplates 2 strikes and at least 9 to win.
Good projection, Bo. Impressive performance by Derrick Williams, bowling out of Groves, Texas, a native of Beaumont. 26, powerful.
Ron Williams must strike on the next 2 balls and get 9 or better on the last shot to win. Anything less, he loses.
There's one. His opponent, Derrick Williams, firing a 217.
Graphic has it. Needs 1 strike and 9 to win, 1 strike and 8 to tie, 1 strike and 7 to lose. And if he doesn't strike on this ball, he'll never throw that final shot. This is a must.
Got it covered, my boy.
Awfully good for a 9 count there.
Wasn't it, though? So, marking here, it'll be a 217. 208, final score. It's a win for the rookie, Derrick Williams. Cindy Coburn Carroll shows how to improve your split conversion percentage. Bo's tip of the week.
Today's bowling tip is designed especially for the women player. And joining me is All-American Cindy Coburn Carroll. Cindy, what do you have for us today?
Well, in general, the women tend to use a little lighter ball than the men. Therefore, they tend to leave a few more pocket splits than the men do.
Okay, so we have the 5-7 and the 4-5, the 2 most common. Let's see how they're made.
Okay, the 5-7, what we're trying to do is slide the 5 into the 7 pin. How we would make this is first we'd move 3 boards left off your starting position on the lane using the same strike target as we did on our first ball, and then slide the 5 right into the 3.
Good shot. How about the 4-5? Do you do the same thing with the 4-5, or is it a little different?
It's just a little different. What we're trying to do is put the ball between the 4-5. We would now move 3 boards right off our starting position, use the same strike line, the same approach, and this should fit right between the 4-5.
All right, 2 great shots. Thank you very much, Cindy. Follow Cindy Coburn's advice and your game will improve. For the 4-5, move to the right on the approach. For the 5-7 split, move to the left.
It's not easy to pull yourself away from the bowl of Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
Flight 421, you're cleared for takeoff. Do you read?
Those 2 scoops of raisin taste so good, you'll find that once you start, you can't leave behind. It's the 2 scoops that taste too good, so pull yourself away. 2 scoops that taste too good, in Kellogg's Raisin Bran. 2 scoops!
One oil filter traps 80% more dirt than the leading competitor. Clearly, that's Motorcraft. Motorcraft quality parts from Ford.
Perspiration's okay when you're playing tennis, but not when you're close.
If a guy smells, it's such a turn-off.
Get a little closer with Arid, the anti-odor antiperspirant that helps keep you extra, extra dry.
Yeah, I trust Arid.
They ate the same lunch, got the same heartburn, but his antacid is very different. His Tums has calcium. Most antacids don't. Regular Rolaids uses an aluminum salt. This uses aluminum and magnesium. So does this. Of all these, only Tums helps wipe out heartburn and gives you calcium you need every day.
Something my body needs anyway.
I like that.
Calcium-rich Tums. That's the one you want.
Call now to feel the excitement of the perfect game.
Oh, yes!
Thrill to the making of a 7-10 split.
Wow, let's replay that, baby.
And enjoy historic footage of bowling's legendary champions. ABC Sports presents an all-new home video, Bowling the Perfect Game. Available only by calling 1-800-4ABC-VCR. Classic moments in bowling history can be yours for the incredible price of $14.98 plus $3 shipping.
2 games now completed in the exciting El Paso Open. Ron Williams in the first game defeated Kelly Coffman 201 to 190. Then in steps another Williams boy, Derrick. He defeats Ron 217-208, both with 6 strikes. The first settlers in this area were the Tiwa Indians in 1648. Here's one of the representatives of that tribe, our friend Joe Sierra. He's also locations manager for the El Paso Film Commission, part of the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and his grandson Mike. Glad you're here, guys.
Chris, here's the field this week. 138 players, solid average. Looking to make the top 24, 224. Westlake, he'll be home in 3 weeks at Edmond. Moscato, a good tournament. Stayrook says he's going to start practicing 8 hours a day. Young, a tough guy. Branham working on a 250-pound bench press. Evers won here a couple years ago. Justin Romick needs a new pair of shoes. Duke's the defending champion next week. McClure looked good all week long. He's been very strong. Dientermont won last week in Fresno. Smith, a third Williams in the finals. Bob Benoit, Brad Snell, I like his form, 23rd. And Kruger round out the top 24, Chris. We got the semifinal match coming up.
And we travel to Arizona next week. Tucson PBA Open at Golden Pin Lanes. And then 2 weeks from today, back to Wichita, another neat city with a $130,000 PBA event. And here we go in the semifinal game. Non-winner, Derrick Williams. Just off a big win over Ron. Will shoot first. Ray Edwards, one-time champion, 2 regional titles, and the defending champion here. .47.
A good all-around athlete. Derrick Williams was a high school baseball player. He pitched in his senior year. He had a 8-3 record, a 2.03 earned run average, and in his senior year led all the Texas County in hitting with a .524 batting average. Went on to play college baseball. Good athlete.
Featured out here on the tour by a hometown physician. Derrick Williams looking for his first national win. Has 2 regional titles, and here he is, the defending champion. Best thus far this year was a 5th place finish in the Firestone Tournament of Champions. Ray J. Edwards. Oh, the right-hander starts out last year having a great performance here, winning his only title, but he came from the top seed.
You're right, Chris. He bowled a good game, and look at this, the form wide. This is perfect form. And I'll tell you what, Ray Edwards has as much potential out here in the tour as anybody. I think he is just beginning to prove himself. He needs a little more self-confidence, as he's been excellent in this championship pair.
So 6-10 for the defending champion. 2nd telecast this year. 3rd overall.
Last year he bowled .216 and winning the title, but he hit the pocket every game, or every shot. As you see the full grip, he's gone to a lower surface friction ball to hopefully slide across the lane and convert to 610. And I said hopefully, and that ball was gone before it ever got to the arrows, Chris.
Yes.
Very poor shot.
Stunned.
Yes, that ball was in the channel at the 40-foot mark. Great break for Edwards, for Derrick Williams. Derrick Williams, solid 7. You can see how he stayed in the 42-game round. He's always been close to the top. He was second, led the qualifier of 18 games. Stayed right around, finished 3rd after 42. Now he's bowling for the semifinal position again.
With 13-10 lead now, he'll move over to the left lane.
300 games bowled this week were 2 times by the Williams boys. Derrick, man with all the ball revolutions, Bob Vespi bowled 1, and Jeff Gurman, the tough young lefty, we'll see more of him, bowled with the 4th 300 game as we see Williams up in the 3rd as a 13-pin lead.
Seven pin for the Texan. You mentioned Bob Vespi, the Floridian from Coral Springs, and you could reach out and touch him right here, couldn't you?
Standing in the announce booth watching this replay, as you see Williams on the extreme right of the approach going over the 3rd arrow. The ball doesn't quite finish enough. 4 doesn't take out the 7, and he's been excellent in his spear shooting so far. That's what's kept him in the matches.
So Derrick trying to become the first 2-game winner here in the El Paso Open, and the tournament leader off to our right. Parker Bohn continues to practice, stay loose, and Ray Edwards now is up trailing by 12, and this after an open frame shooting in the 3rd. Nice comeback. Ray Edwards says Bowl El Paso is his favorite bowling center.
I don't know, Bo, but I'm considering moving out here. Actually, I guess the synthetic lanes really help. It's a real smooth surface. Compared with the wood lanes, there's a lot of imperfections in the lane, a lot of bumps and grooves. On synthetic, it's real smooth, and I got a true roll.
Next 2 weeks are synthetics, Chris. Tucson and Wichita.
Do you enjoy bowling on synthetics?
I enjoy bowling anytime, Chris. However, I learned to bowl on wood, and I've had to make some changes on synthetics. I think they favor the power player a little bit like Ray Edwards, a little bit more than the stroker type style that I have. However, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and hopefully I'll figure it out.
And for those of you that missed it, Bo stroked himself to a 5th place finish in the huge PBA Seniors event in Las Vegas. In the area, one of the Mexican shopping malls in Ciudad Juarez.
The Shaw family, tackling weekend work with the help of True Value. And their family is turning to our family for the True Value of the month. If insects are bugging you, get Green Thumb Home Insect Pest Control. 1-gallon bottle, handy spray trigger, for indoors or out. True Value priced at just $4.88. For personal service and low prices, bring your family to ours.
You can do it with True Value.
Why get an inferior shave when you could have the best? Why choose ordinary lubrication when you could have the richest? Why settle for average protection against razor irritation when you could have the most advanced, giving you the closest shave with less irritation? Edge Gel. Ultimate closeness. Ultimate comfort. That's the Edge.
Top Indy car drivers pour into Milwaukee to burn up the track in a race for riches. It's the Miller Genuine Draft 200 live Sunday on ABC Sports.
Yes, here they are. Soldiers from nearby Fort Bliss. Founded in the 1800s, the fort itself is a cavalry post. Now the Air Defense Command works out of Fort Bliss, and we're glad to have the men from Bliss here with us today. Great bowling establishment on the fort. Bo did an exhibition there recently. There's a great exhibition of striking, Nelson.
You're right, Chris. The action has started to pick up in the semifinal, but our tournament leader, Parker Bohn, has never lost. Have you, from the #1 position? I know you've won all 5 of your tournaments from the #1 position. What's the secret?
Secret is to go out and go get them. Got to go out with a positive attitude, and I have the positive attitude, and today's my day, and I'm going to go out and make it happen.
All right, give me a prediction of the final score then.
230, 240 for me, and whatever my opponent bowls.
Hopefully less, right?
Hopefully.
Good luck, Parker. Back to you, Chris.
Riding with that strike, Derrick Williams has a 22-pin lead on the defending champion, Ray Edwards, who is up and wondering. But don't forget, Ray now has a spare working. He's shooting in the 5th frame here in our semifinal match. All right, nice mixing action. Okay, coming up next, Wide World of Sports, heavyweights returning. Tommy Morrison, knockout artist, battles Joe Hip from the Browning, Montana area, the Blackfoots. And the American Championship Racing Series continues as Top Thoroughbreds dash for $1 million in the Hollywood Gold Cup. It's next on ABC Sports.
Derrick Williams needs Ray Edwards needs a strike to cut the lead to 12.
Wonderful action now. Makes Parker Bohn get back up to stay loose. The tournament leader, he'll be next for the $20,000 first prize. 12-pin lead now with the double working. Can go back to 22. Pretty sight, all those X's.
First hint of a string we've had today in a high-scoring tournament. We saw it took almost a 225 average to make the top 24. So we know these players are capable of stringing out the big games. Williams could extend his lead to 32 with a strike here in the 7th.
Seven.
Once again, he hits a little bit light on the left-hand lane. He's left the 7-pin a couple of times on that lane, but the key is to stay around the pocket. He's ahead in the match. He doesn't want to give his opponent an opening by getting a big split or missing a spare, so the pressure's on this defending champion, Ray Edwards, as he sits on the bench and waits.
All right, we're in our semifinal match, and of course, we'll return. Meanwhile, get a look at Waco Tank State Park, rock climbers, and some of the pictographs commemorating the war between the Kiowas and the Tiwas. Tiwas won, by the way.
Iron Mike on rust.
I hate rust.
Iron Mike on tough.
This is tough. Rust tough. This is rust. Oleum? The dictionary defines tough as strong. Not easily influenced. Like me. The definition of oleum is... We sprayed this rusty metal plate with fast-drying rust tough, exposed the rusted metal, then placed it in the torture salt fog chamber. The rust didn't spread. It stayed tough. You want tough? What do you want? Oleum. Got rust? Get tough. Rust tough.
It's time to save big on Goodyear all-season radials for cars and light trucks. Buy 3, get the 4th free. Hurry, save big, and see why we say the best tires in the world and in your neighborhood have Goodyear written all over them.
There's no better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Speed Stick. It's 110% protection against wetness and odor that lasts all day.
No better way to face the day. Find it.
Bowling's best duel in the desert. The game's big guns roll into Arizona for the Tucson PBA Open on ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour next Saturday.
The 3 co-proprietors here, Frank Hatfield, Phil Prieto, and in the middle, Roy Lown, who won the first PBA televised event at Frank Esposito's Paramus Bowl in New Jersey, 1961. All right.
Edwards puts together a string answering Derrick Williams' lead of 21s, now cut down to 11. And Edwards can hit this championship pair. Here's how he does it. He stands to the extreme left. He's going to walk in this area. He's going to be right around the 3rd arrow. He throws a terrific strike ball. He's confident on this pair of lanes. Can make it a close match with one more strike.
All right, 1 pin. The winner of this game will meet Parker Bohn for the championship.
Did you see the look in Ray Edwards' eyes when he turned around at that foul line, Chris? He's saying, I am here to defend my title. Let's see what Williams does. Down to crunch time, 8th frame.
Now on ABC Sports, the race for the IndyCar Championship continues. Points leader Bobby Rahal, defending champ Michael Andretti, and Indy 500 champ Al Unser Jr. lead the pack of world-class drivers on the 1-mile oval outside of Milwaukee, West Dallas. It's the Miller Genuine Draft 200 live tomorrow. ABC Sports.
All right, Derrick Williams, 9th frame, leads by 1. Boy, oh boy, you just can't throw it any better than that when you need it. His wrist rolled around that ball, and he made those pins talk. Let's see how Ray Edwards reacts to that powerful strike thrown right in his face. And once again, he's trails by 11, 9th frame. Anybody's match. The 10 pin, he's not out of the match. Last year when he won the tournament, he bowled a 216 game over a 180 by Benoit, and he hit the pocket every ball, left 3 10 pins and 1 solid 9. However, this is a bad time to leave another 10 as he falls behind by 12.
Huge error.
Chris, that is 2 spares that he has completely missed. He looked down at the approach, but he has to consider that all of a sudden, that ball that he's using for spares, not even close. Look at this. He misses this ball, goes in the channel with 5 feet still to go. I still believe in that changing balls is not the way to do it. We've seen a lot of titles go astray in that manner, and now he's buried himself in a hole. He is no longer going to be the defending champion, Chris. I think he's the former champion right now.
That's right. Ray Edwards, his second full year on tour. Ray joined the Air Force in '84, spent 4 years in Wichita Falls, Texas, as an electronic technician.
Chris, the two spares cost him 26 pins. He had been leading going into the 10th. .203, the best he can do. Derrick Williams, potential .247. It's going to be an all-lefty final for the 1992 El Paso Open.
Okay, Derrick Williams with a 217 to Brian Williams 208. Held him into this semifinal game, and now he has bigger and better things to come. His opponent shot a 203, Ray Edwards.
Just finishing out, Derrick Williams, a potential .247. It's going to be Derrick Williams going for his first PBA championship against Parker Bohn going for his 6th.
So it's going to be an all left-handed final. 2 lefties going head-to-head for the title here in El Paso. .203 is ABC Sports presentation. The Professional Bowlers Tour will return after this message and a word from our ABC station.
When you're into sports, you're into ABC Sports. From the thrill of victory to the agony of defeat, the action's on ABC. Now for the real sports fan, Nutmeg Mills has created authentic ABC sportswear, starring the Monday Night NFL collection, the College Football collection, and the Wide World of Sports collection. Authentic ABC sportswear by Nutmeg Mills. Get into it. Real sportswear for real sports fans.
What's been the highlight of your Lake Edna stop, Matt?
I'd say this new honey barbecue chicken, Russ.
Get 2 pieces with baked beans, coleslaw, and a biscuit in a roundup meal for just $2.99. Or the 8-piece meal, just $9.99.
Oh, well, I can see the whole mess.
Now get to KFC as quick as you can. Honey barbecue wings are back, glazed in a special sauce with a touch of honey. People are rushing to try it. KFC honey barbecue wings in Lake Edna or your neck of the woods.
Watch this show, or we shoot.
I'm gonna kill him! No, no, no!
On the air, Saturday, following Perfect Strangers.
Bowling in the USA. Bowling in the USA.
For a great time this week, join your friends at one of these fun-filled bowling centers.
You never know what kind of copier dealer you got until you have a problem. But when you call a Minolta dealer...
Hello, Harrisburg Copiers. Bob Louis speaking. May I help you?
You'll always have a dealer who makes service and response a #1 priority. So if you buy a Minolta copier from us, we'll leave no problem unsolved and no question unanswered.
Catch the Carl Ravitch Sports Report tonight at 6.
You're looking at Hollywood Park in Inglewood, California on a gorgeous early summer afternoon, and a big crowd has gathered for the 53rd running of the Hollywood Gold Cup. I'm Al Michaels, and we'll get you back to bowling in just a second, but first a reminder, coming up on ABC's Wide World of Sports, a great heavyweight fight from Reno, Nevada, the exciting Tommy Morrison, with a record of 32-1, including 28 knockouts, will take on Joe Hipp. You will see it live from Reno. In addition, our coverage from here of the Hollywood Gold Cup, a race that in past years has been won by the likes of Seabiscuit, Gallant Man, Round Table, and Affirm. It's all straight ahead at 4:30 Eastern. See you then. Right now, back to Chris Schenkel.
Okay, thank you very much, Al Michaels. We are in El Paso. And in our first game today, Ron Williams defeated Kelly Coffman 201 to 190. Second match, in steps Derrick Williams, defeating Ron 217 to 208. He marches on against Ray Edwards 246 to 203, and now has the opportunity for his first title, but standing in his way is the tournament leader, Parker Bohn III. Parker, like so many other professional athletes, especially bowlers, are often a big part of a very special charity. Watch and listen. Early on a Saturday morning, several weeks ago, McGuire Air Force Base was preparing for the arrival of over 2,000 children.
Hi, we're here for
along with friends and family, two of bowling's most prominent players were on hand to lend their support and encouragement to a program they believe in.
The New Jersey Tournament of Champions is athletic events held for special education children. Maybe he's slow reading, slow learning, he could be in a wheelchair, he could be deaf, he could be blind. There's a wide variety of children that are not just the normal kid.
This New Jersey organization relies on the support of the community. McGuire Air Force Base played host to the track and field competition.
We have the facilities, we're part of the community, and our people primarily are interested in it. We have some 500 to 1,000 volunteers who are willing to come out and take part in this activity and help host it, and we're proud to do it.
This is a chance for the special education kids of New Jersey who are reminded of their disability in the classroom to compete against their peers on a level adjusted to their abilities.
I think the competitive drive in these kids is more than the average person. This is really the only chance that they have to win or to completely succeed. Everybody gets a participation award just for being here, but they give out gold, silver, and bronze to the 3 winners.
Come on, baby. You got it.
This is, after all, the state finals of the track and field events. For Johnny Petraglia and Parker Bohn, competitors themselves, the satisfaction comes in the interaction with these athletes. Emotions run high, and just finishing a race can be a cause for tears. In addition to 14 individual events, several youngsters competed in the Pentathlon, a 5-event mix of both track and field. Parker Bohn hooked up with a 14-year-old named Tony Chance, whose reading disability allows him to compete here and feel good about himself.
going to be behind you there. I'm going to give you a little support. Okay. You mind that? No, Ma. Okay, that's good.
Tony's softball throw was the second best of the day.
That's what makes the difference. You got to say I'm going to do it.
Perhaps because of Parker's support, or perhaps because of the strong desire to succeed in front of so many eyes, Tony Chance, competing in the finals for his first time ever, broke the record when he cleared 5 feet 6 inches over the high jump.
Congratulations. Here you go, buddy. First place.
It was a day of competition, of winning and losing, but success came from the effort each child made in participating. Big pat on the back. Parker Bohn III and Johnny Petraglia. He has tears in his eyes. And why not? Why not?
Interesting shot there, Chris. And Parker is not only is affiliated with that charity, he worked for me for the Children's Hospital in 1989, Danbury, Connecticut. He does a lot of that work. However, he's got a lot of work in front of him right now with a red-hot Derrick Williams going for his first title.
Leaving the 10-pin, Derrick in his third match of the afternoon.
All right, let's set up some statistics for the final game here. Derrick Williams has averaged .231 for his 2 games so far. This is the third all left-handed final this year. Cleveland, it was Albee and Cook. And at the Quaker State, it was Bishop and Stayrow.
Tough break.
Whew. Well, that wasn't even a break, I don't think, Chris. That was just as wild as you can be.
Careless?
No, yes, it has to be careless. He can make that 7-pin. He hasn't been, that 10-pin, he hasn't missed any spares all day, and what a break for Bohn in the early going.
7-pin. Parker's in his 24th telecast. Third this year. Second at Earl Anthony's Dublin event. Fifth at the ARC Sacramento Open.
Chris, one of the best left-handed styles on the tour, Parker Bohn. You see him leave a solid 7.
So Parker wants to become the 6th top seed to win this year.
Top seeds have only averaged 200 this year. Their opponents 216. No wonder they have struggled to a 5-16 record.
Okay. So
the head pin, the scout, they call it out here on the tour. Here it goes to the right sideboard, comes across. Good break for Parker as he is spared and strike in his first 2 frames.
Oh.
Awfully good for a 9. A wry smile there. Misses the 10-pin in the first frame on a ball that could have been a strike, and here he has his 9-pin on another ball that could have been a strike. Not going his way in the first 2 frames.
This is our championship match at Bowl El Paso.
Last rookie to win a PBA title was Jimmy Johnson at the 1990 Brunswick World Open. He's the son of Hall of Famer Don Johnson, who competes on the senior PBA tour.
Staying very, very low. Derrick Williams. Parker Bohn is up, bowling out of Freehold, New Jersey. 1990, 6 telecasts. He won 3 times, all 3 from the top seed. That's his position here this afternoon. Tournament leader. Parker Bohn relates his worst break in his PBA career.
Well, Bo, would be in 1987 in Baltimore. I was bowling Butch Soper for the TV show, the 42nd game. He left the 2-4-5 in the 10th. Somehow the 4-pin fell down, hit a pin, it rolled over into the 5-pin. The 5-pin fell forward into the 2-pin, which fell down right before the table came down, and unfortunately for me, he threw the next strike and it knocked me off the TV shot.
Parker was hoping.
Well, Chris, the head pin comes back across but doesn't take out the 7-pin this time, and a situation as the 7-pin still wiggling down there is almost the same as we saw earlier, where the machine stopped the pinfall, and Parker quickly up and makes the swing.
A little hula hoop. 20,000 to the winner of this event and the El Paso Open trophy.
She's lucky, because today she'll encounter egrets doing dances and alligators in the wild. She'll see how other moms take care of their kids. And she'll be doing this, recycling, through a program of the National Park Service and its recycling partner, Dow.
We can make a difference in what tomorrow brings.
Together with the National Park Service and folks like Sarah.
Dow lets you do great things. It's not easy to pull yourself away from a bowl of Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Those 2 scoops of raisins taste so good you'll find that once you start you can't leave them behind. Those 2 scoops that taste too good to throw yourself away. 2 scoops of Raisin Bran flakes of bran. Get every bite you can of those 2 scoops that taste too good to throw yourself away. 2 scoops that taste too good in Kellogg's Raisin Bran. 2 scoops.
All right, you're looking at Derrick Williams, who in the 4th frame made a 7-pin spare. As Mike Connor has come in from Akron, he's the commissioner of the PBA. Check things out, and glad to have him here. Now again for a 7-pin.
Mike Connor, Chris, just coming from Las Vegas from the Bowling Proprietors Convention, where Dan Quayle was the featured speaker Thursday afternoon and did a little bowling. He could use a few tips. Now it's Parker Bohn, who leads by 21 in the 5th.
Beautiful strike. Last year, Parker owned won 69,000. 47,000 already this year.
As nice a style as you can have in bowling. This young man has it all. Position here, position on the approach. He'll be between the 2nd, 3rd arrow. Watch this golden arm swing, inside-out release, and great wrist action.
Come on! All right, the man that won his first PBA championship in Seattle in 1987, his second, the Brunswick World Open in 89. And there's his mom, who's so active with those disabled youngsters. His mom, Jean, and his wife, Mary.
Great reaction to a great shot. Look at that knee bend that Parker had. Now, Derrick Williams, can he answer? Interesting part about our sport, Chris. We note that Derrick Williams, a very powerful man at 6 feet, 200 pounds, bowling against a fellow 5'11". And right now, all Derrick has to do is get the ball to the left of the 2-pin, bounce it in the 7. And I believe the big, strong man is a little bit intimidated by the younger, powerful player.
In that Open, here in the championship match.
Well, right now, Derrick Williams is a must-strike situation with still 4 frames left. He trails by 44. And Parker Bohn does not look back.
So Parker now with a double up, leading by 44, shooting in the 7th frame, title game, carefully places himself on the approach.
Watch this knee bend at the foul line.
Come on, come on, come on.
Trying for the clincher, 3 in a row.
Chris, Dave Davis, 20 years ago, almost a mirror of this style. Parker Bohn. They're both from the Same school of thought. Good knee bend, good fundamental, tremendous wrist action. Dave is still a great competitor on the Seniors Tour. Has got to be proud of this man who can put it away with this shot.
Come on, 24.
Watch this reaction. Man that's won 2 matches, Derrick Williams, bowling out of Groves, Texas. Great champion Mark Williams' brother.
Both these players started bowling at the age of 8. Derrick Williams had a 300 game at the age of 13. Has a very, very slim chance if he can strike out.
So, next week, we're in Tucson, Golden Pin event, as we look at leaders by round here of the El Paso event.
Well, the format will be the same next week, Chris. 42 games as Forkel is the money leader, and Parker Bohn will be creeping up with a victory here. And Tucson, Chris, our defending champion, Norm Duke will be.
Are you bowling next week?
Come on.
Chris, I'm taking a week off.
Okay.
And then on to Wichita as Parker Bohn knows he has this match pretty well in hand. He needs 1 mark in the last 2 frames. A spare here, and it's his 6th title. Hello.
All right, in El Paso, and on the south shore of the Rio Grande River, Ciudad Juarez, Mitchell DeBlato of the El Paso Convention Visitors Bureau showed us around and made us fully appreciate El Paso and Juarez. Gene and his wife, Mary. Mary, mother of Parker IV and Evan.
Tournament leaders doing much better the last 5 weeks on ABC TV, as this will be the 3rd tournament leader to win in 5 weeks.
Wow. He'll be in the 240s, a big championship game for Parker, a 2nd at Dublin, Earl Anthony's event, and then a 5th at the ARC Sacramento Open. And on the top seed, he'll have won 6 and lost 2. 247. The winner of the El Paso Open.
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Speed Stick. It's 110% protection against wetness and odor that lasts all day. Start the morning with Speed Stick, the wide stick, for powerful 24-hour protection.
No better way to face the day. No better way to face the day.
Speed Stick, 110% protection.
Who needs all the rigmarole?
Face it, lots of places offer new tires.
I'm not going to hand my car over to just anyone.
But only Sears has the SuperGuard 40 all-season steel-belted radials. And now they're on sale as low as $21.88.
When I get off work, Sears is still open, and that makes sense to me.
Sears SuperGuard 40, now only $21.88.
You can count on me.
Who's going to back you better than Sears?
Last time I stained my house with that other brand. This time, I'm using Thompson Stain.
Only Thompson's House and Deck Stain contains Thompson's Water Seal. It waterproofs better than even the leading brand's premium stain.
Now that's beautiful protection.
Thompson's Stain.
To pull her through a nasty lunch, Malox uses aluminum and magnesium. But his antacid is Tums, and Tums has calcium.
Something my body needs anyway. I like that.
Calcium-rich Tums.
There's the way they finished. The El Paso Open. Listen to them cheer for Parker Bohn. 247 to 212, and There is the champion. All the good deeds even magnified here with a win.
I'll say, boy, I'll tell you, skipping 2 weeks ago to go home to help out the special kids at home, it all paid out here. Look.
Well, I hope that sends a big message across America.
The kids are really special, but I'll tell you, I would definitely like to thank the people here at Bowl El Paso and the city of El Paso. It's a really wonderful city. Unfortunately, I live on the East Coast, but I'll be back here every year.
Well, Frank Hatfield, one of the co-proprietors, is here with spoils of victory for you.
I'm waiting.
Okay. I want to present you this check on behalf of Bowl El Paso, its staff, and all of our co-sponsors and everything. And we're proud you got your 6th victory in El Paso, Texas and everything.
Okay, let's bring in Carlos Ramirez, who's executive director of the El Paso Visitors and Convention Bureau.
I would like to present to you this trophy on behalf of the city of El Paso to remind you about El Paso, the Paso of the North. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. City of El Paso. I'll always remember it.
I wish we had time to ring Mary and Evan and your mom, Jean, in here, but we're so proud of you and Johnny Petraglia for helping all those disabled kids. And again, congratulations.
Thank you, Chris. It's
all
really,
right.
really wonderful.
We'll see Parker again. We'll see Derrick again right here on the Professional Bowlers Tour. Thank you, El Paso. For Bo Burton, this is Chris Schenkel saying so long. We'll be in Tucson next week. The executive producer of ABC's sports presentation of the Professional Bowlers Tour is Jack O'Hara. Produced by Carol Letty. Directed by Larry Camp. Technical Director, Michael Carmen. Associate Director, Norm Salmon. Technical Operations Manager, Les Weiss. Unit Manager, Bob Simon. Assistant to the producer, Charles Coughlin. Stage Manager, Tom Gatewood.
It's a heavyweight showdown. Tommy Morrison puts his title hopes on the line when he battles Joe Hipp. Plus, top thoroughbreds race in the $1 Million Hollywood Gold Cup live. The Pro Bowlers Tour. Brought to you by Dow, the people who let you do great things. And by the makers of Speed Stick Antiperspirant and Speed Stick Deodorant.